Welcome to the Energy Exchange. I am Alane Paulley, and joining me today is Sean Totsch. And Sean, you are the USL's all-time appearance leader. So that's a big deal. That means you played a lot of games. How many games have you played?
Honestly, I don't even fully know.
Really?
There's been so many, and the way they count them is for like just the regular season. So obviously the playoffs, and then you have preseason games in there too. Those are obviously not like official games. You have friendlies in there too, but there's been a lot of games.
Yeah, like hundreds of games.
Yeah.
So let's take it back a little bit. Let's rewind it back to when you were a kid, you moved around a lot. And was there a time that you realized that soccer was it? Like, what was that moment for you that you were like, I'm actually going to do something with this? Was it when you were a little kid, or was it when you were older? Or how did that manifest for you?
Well, I would say for me, the biggest sign that soccer was going to be a big part of my life is this is what I tell most people is it had to have been when I was in elementary school. And so every day at recess, we would go play soccer in out in the yard or whatever for recess. And me and my younger brother had started some rec soccer at the time, and we're doing well at it. But just complete rec soccer. But at recess every single day, it was my brother, myself, and then one of our neighbors versus the rest of the class. So I had this image in my head of it was three of us versus thousands.
Yeah.
But it was probably 15, 20 other kids or whatever.
Yeah.
But we were the only ones who played soccer. And from then on, I was we had success. And every single day it was the whole class versus us. And we would most of the time win. And I just have this strong core memory of, all right, this is who I am. This is what I do.
It was a defining moment.
Yeah. So early on, and then with that, one of the most tragic times of my childhood, fortunately and unfortunately for myself in the time.
Yeah.
I remember being so devastated because I was playing too hard, and I kicked someone when I was followed through the shot, kicked him, and I broke this kid's leg when we were in third grade. And I had to get sat down in the principal's office, and they told me, hey, you gotta back off a little bit. You're going too hard at recess.
Yeah.
So they suspended me from playing soccer at recess for a week.
So you accidentally, in third grade, broke a child's leg at recess, another child, same age as you, and they wouldn't let you play at recess for how long?
For a week. So I sat on the jungle gym every single day, just holding on to the monkey or the bars, and be just looking out on the soccer field, just devastated. So, I'm fortunate to say that was, not in hindsight, a horrible moment.
Yeah.
But at the time, devastated.
Yeah.
Devastated.
Well, that really shows how much you loved it as a child. How did your parents support you? You were playing rec soccer, and as a parent myself, I know that there is parents now who are all in that their kid is going to be a professional athlete. They are competitive at, grade school basketball, second grade tryouts, and I'm calm down, Gina. It's okay if your kid doesn't make the A team, right? Yeah. But I don't know what the difference is between, I think as parents, we are always what is too much and what is too little, right? In supporting your kids in this passion. And as a child at second and third grade, loving the sport, how did your parents take that? What did they do that fostered it and didn't really put the pressure on you?
Well, from early on, I tried other sports. I didn't really none of them stuck.
Yeah.
And before we were speaking with trying other sports, pickleball is growing, and I almost have this thing where especially when it comes to sports, I'm not the biggest fan of playing other sports, because if I'm going to do it, I want to be really good at it.
You're competitive.
I don't want to go and try pickleball and play it once a month with some buddies and get my butt kicked.
Yeah.
I would rather be all in on something and be the best at it.
I feel that in my soul. I feel the exact same. My husband's you struggle to play even board games with our kids, because I'm not going to let her win. I beat my daughter last night at
I'm the same
Candyland
way.
4 times. And I'm like, Candyland's a game of like, you pull it, you win, you win. I'm not going to let her win. I'm not going to cheat.
Yeah.
We're going to play this game. And maybe I'm too much of, but I mean, it's really difficult sometimes to even realize that some people aren't that way.
Yeah.
Some people actually aren't competitive. And I think it's been a blessing in my life, but I guess sometimes you got to, bring it back a little bit. But that's probably good because you don't get hurt playing outside of the field.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, I'll do other things as well, but, I resonate with what you said there. I have the same thing where like I play my nephews, we played like Guess Who, and, I beat him like the first time and I'm like, yeah, like he's not going to let him, like no one let me win. Like
Nobody let me win.
And I didn't let my brothers win when we were growing up. So I'm like, I'm going to be that uncle who's like, trying to push him to, but the thing is they're like super competitive already. But then he beat me. Like I didn't even like mean to let him win. Playing Guess Who. And I'm like, this little,
now I've got to come back.
Yeah, like, all right, well, you thought I was trying before.
But now I'm going to win. No, I feel the exact same way. And it was actually really good watching my kids. My oldest is in college now, and she was like, we had at one point, I remember this is probably a defining moment for her. Her friend lost, and we were playing a game, and she was maybe in the 3rd grade or something, and he flipped the board when he lost because his mom had let him win every game. And so she was playing with him, and she looked at me like, shocked that he was so upset. And his mom's like, well, he's never lost before. And I'm like, what? My kid has literally never won.
Yeah.
Like I will win at everything with her and then I think it gets her excited to win, but it also allows her to accept loss a little bit. Like it's okay to lose. You don't have to rub it in people's faces, right?
Yeah. Well, I think a big thing of it in like, there's like, I feel like what's come for me and like how I found success is, not necessarily, you were speaking about my parents, like what did they do? They gave the opportunity for me to work, but they didn't necessarily expect me to be the best, but they gave me the opportunity and what I needed to work as hard and have the resources I needed, but they weren't saying like, hey, like you're going, like you don't have a choice. Like it was always my choice. But if I didn't have success in something, then I was like, I had that self-driven urge inside. And I feel like I've had that for, as long as I've known that, all right, if you beat me, I have a couple things that I like to do. And if you beat me at them, I'm going to go. You're not going to see me. I'm going to be back in my house working on ping pong shots. Quietly. And then all of a sudden you're going to come back and we're going to play in a week. And you're like, damn, what happened here? All of a sudden, you're pretty good at this. And then like, just keep working that way. So
do you think you were born like that? Or do you think that was something that was learned? Like, are your parents that way?
Maybe a little. I never really saw like the competitive side as much in like sports from them, but they're definitely the type that, motivated and extremely hardworking to get what they feel they need or what the family needs.
Yeah.
And there's my family, there's times to give us the opportunity having 3 boys all playing soccer and travel soccer. Everyone knows, and anyone who has kids knows how expensive it can be.
Yeah.
And it continues to get more expensive. They always did everything they possibly could to make it to make our dreams a reality. And it was up to us to put the work in. It wasn't, if we needed a soccer goal, we'd figure out a soccer goal in the backyard. It might not be the perfect goal.
Yeah.
But we made it work.
Find some scraps of wood and figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. So that was something for me where, we had like some extra coaching at times, but it was like, it was still on you to go do it. They weren't forcing us to do anything. And it was really on us to do it. And there was also some things about earning what you got, because my family have gone that time, like for a long time, self-employed, small businesses, general contractors. So like, I grew up going to job sites and helping them out. And if I wanted cleats, I had to go earn them.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I wasn't getting paid in allowance or anything, nor did I look back and want it, you know?
Right.
That was teaching me lessons of, hey, we'll give you the soccer cleats you want, the ones you need to perform, but you have to earn them.
Yeah.
And you have to earn the roof over your head and the food on your plate. Like this is, you know, we have this joke that we got paid in gym bucks. My dad's name is Jim. And we still don't know the value of what these gym bucks are. You know, I like to say that it's like the conversion rate of gym bucks is the same conversion of leprechauns to unicorns. Like it doesn't.
Nobody knows. One day it's one thing, the next day it's another.
You don't really know what it is. I worked my butt off for those gym bucks.
Yeah.
But the true value of those gym bucks was the lessons I learned along the way to get where I am.
That's amazing. So was there ever a time that you wanted to quit?
No, there wasn't ever a time I wanted to quit. But there was times, you know, it was difficult. Like there was times I'm like, I'm not sure how this is going to happen. I know it's going to. Mm-hmm. And I feel like was always my mindset. You know, there's a lot of ways to play soccer, a lot of like avenues to take, a lot of different levels. And it's all relative to like, you know, what your skill set is and what's available, you know, based on where you're at or talent, you know, or physical capabilities, you know, you might not be able to play for Real Madrid or, you know, whatever team, Louisville City, whatever the level you want. But there is a level that you can push to achieve. And whether that's a local semi-professional team or your high school varsity team, you know, there is a level that you can reach to achieve. And whether my goal was, you know, for the longest time, the goalpost just changed a little bit. And I was always just trying to achieve what I thought was possible.
Well, to support yourself and live and do what you love to do is a gift, right? Mm. So I think what's amazing in what you just said is that you're saying that you always knew that you were going to play soccer, like this was for you. And sometimes that's hard for people to see, that like, if you believe it and you keep working towards it, you can get there to what is hitting your goal. It just doesn't have to be, you know, Real Madrid. But you are still a professional soccer player. And what you're doing is freaking incredible. The way that you have created this career and made Louisville your home, it's amazing. And you've done it and you've always believed that you could do it. And what I hear from people all the time is, well, how do you know that I can? I can't. I think people tell themselves that they can't so much. And it's kind of refreshing to hear that you can. And now you're going into this new stage of your life. You're married, right? Recently, you proposed to your wife on the field. How did that all happen? Like, did you know that you wanted to propose on the field to her? Was she somebody who wanted a public proposal? Tell me a little bit about that, because Heather was telling me about it earlier, and she was like very excited and almost teared up. It got emotional about that day and how that happened. So I have to ask, like, you talk about how important your family is to you and growing up. So what is it like now, starting your own family? How did this all happen for you? And she seems to be very much a part of your soccer career. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I do credit a lot of the good habits that I've created, especially in the later stages of my career, that have allowed me to continue to perform at a high level, to our habits at home. Mm-hmm. You know, she's the type that it's like, it's getting close to bedtime and it's like, all right, TV's off, we're going to bed. Like that's just what we're doing. And like, that's one for a lot of people. It's just, that's like that little thing of sleep, I think is a huge thing that gets overlooked. And, you know, it's like, oh, let's watch a little bit more. Let's watch one more episode. And then all of a sudden it's 11:30, 12:30, 1 o'clock, just because you're trying to watch one more episode or finish the show or whatever. So that's one thing that, like, it seems like a little thing, but it's one of her traits that has really helped me. And you know, one thing I really appreciate is, like, we have like a pretty rigid bedtime that, like, it's when we go to sleep, and it's something that I value and she values.
It definitely helps your health. I mean, people don't realize how much sleep really does matter. And her doing that, because we time steal back as adults where we're like, I'm going to stay up because during the day, a lot of our time's taken up, right?
Yeah.
And it's doing other things that we maybe don't want to do. So it feels like, well, I deserve this to watch this one more episode, or I can because
it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
It'll be all right. We tell ourselves it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'll get it done. It's like.
But it's not.
It's not. It doesn't. And then, especially when you're trying to physically perform, it makes a huge difference. But then even the mental side, it's like you're a little groggy going into the morning, and then we have the morning meeting that we go to before training. It's like, all right, I'm not switched on. I don't know what I need to work on in training. And then in training, I might not be able to physically perform. I might not recover as fast. So that's one thing, I give a lot of credit to her as far as that she's like really locked in my sleep schedule.
You'd be super sleepy without her.
Yeah. And I am one of the older players in the league, older players in the team that, to be able to still physically perform and have the appearances I've had, that's definitely a part of it. But to go back to I knew my wife and I knew from early on, like when we were first dating, that it feels like current dating trends that a lot of people are like indecisive and don't know and don't want to commit. And then you're like, all right, are you talking to me? Are you talking to 5 other people? And then you're like, if I'm talking to someone, I'm ready to give them my all, but they have to be willing to give me their all as well.
Yeah.
And that was something from very early on that we were like clear about it. This is us, and we're going to give this an honest go, and we're going to commit to each other. And if it works out, we didn't necessarily say it. We're not going like, hey, if this works out or doesn't, but we're very clear that we're approaching each other and just each other
and respecting each other.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing for both of us, that not trying to play those games. And it's like almost that single-minded mindset we're talking about in sport, that it's like it was on each other as well. So it moved fast. We bought a house together, like around a year of dating together.
Okay, so you bought the house before you guys got married.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's been times where it's like, you want to make good business decisions and relationship decisions, because, ultimately a marriage, there is a business transaction as well as a emotional, and relationship as well. But then, so it would have been 2019, we started dating, and in 2020, I proposed. And unfortunately, it was on the field, but it was during COVID. So it was the time. So it was before the game, but there was not as many fans as I
usually
kind of envisioned. When I was like, all right, how do I want to do this?
Yeah.
And I pictured this stadium full of fans, and really be able to move the attention off myself to her.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that I think goes on with some of the wives or girlfriends in the sport, that it's when we go places, people are, there's naturally at times more focused on myself because of.
Yeah, you're the professional player
for the team. Where when we have interactions or opportunities to really shine a light on our partners, because they deserve it. And that's what I was really envisioning. So I was slightly disappointed that I didn't have, it was not a full stadium, a sold out stadium and people chanting her name. That's what I pictured.
Yeah.
But we did have a sweet moment where, so our coach at the time, emailed her and was like, hey, Sean's being recognized for X amount of appearances. We're going to present him a jersey. We'd love you to present the jersey for him. And, but it's going to be a secret. So don't don't say anything.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
So beforehand, we went and got pedicures and manicures, just randomly.
Yeah.
So I think that might have started to tip her off, but then, it came down to the actual moment, and I obviously knew it was happening, and I'm trying to walk down the field with a ring in my sliders tucked in my pants.
Yeah.
She was down on the field with the jersey, and then she opened it up, and the back of the jersey said, "Will you marry me?" and like the numbers and everything were made out of hearts. So it was this really cute moment, really special. Afterwards, though, she did tell me that she was onto it.
Really? So she kind of, well, I mean, I think the pedicures and manicures.
Well, I think the way my coach was speaking to her, so it was John Hackworth at the time who was the head coach. I think he was like a little too suspicious in the message that he sent her, and she was onto it, but she didn't want to say anything.
That's sweet though. She didn't want to ruin the surprise for you.
She didn't want to ruin it for anybody.
Yeah.
But it was a really like cool moment, and like part of the reason why I wanted to do it on the field was because like the team, the city, everyone there like has meant so much to me, and like in my growth as a person, and like making Louisville my home, and really
I see it. It's on your shirt. It's written all over you.
It's literally
written all over
times
you.
On me. That I really wanted to like have them join in the celebration there.
Yeah.
So that's really like kind of the thought process there, and fortunate that I was able to, and still going strong, and love my wife, and
I love that. I love it's a really sweet story. So you mentioned sleep is very important to you. You also mentioned that did you get a pedicure?
Oh, I get pedicures very regularly.
I love that. Okay. I take my son to get pedicures, and my husband's like, really? Well, you've got him all spoiled. And I'm like, yeah, but he loves it. Like, and it's so nice. Like it's not like he's getting pink fingernails, but he does love it. And so like, it's kind of something my son and I have two daughters as well, but they come as well, but it's kind of become something we do together. And I love that. So, you do that. I know that you go to Wi-Fi, which I'm a little partial to, the wellness club. But what else do you do? Like, what do you do that keeps you said you're one of the oldest players, that keeps you feeling top notch?
Well, pedicures are on there.
Yeah.
So I have a tradition so I probably have maybe one a month during the season, maybe like every 5 or 6 weeks.
You lose toenails when you're playing?
No.
Never.
I mean, I did like a long time ago, but I don't have any issues with losing them now.
That's
I mean,
good.
some guys will have that issue.
Yeah.
I personally don't. But so I have this tradition that whenever I go, whether it's my mom will come down to games, and we'll usually go together.
I love that.
So my mom and I get pedicures. We'll get it on the morning of the game. So even the season, I had probably 5 or 6 pedicures with my
Where's
mom.
your favorite place to get a pedicure in town?
My favorite place is First Lady.
I love First Lady nails.
Yeah. They're super
Excellent.
nice.
Okay.
So I used to live right over there.
Yeah.
So I used to live like 3 blocks from there. So
Yeah.
we just picked a random place, and then we're like, oh, well, now I actually just moved to Clarksville recently.
Okay.
And we'll sometimes drive into Louisville, into there.
I love that.
To go get our nails done. But then I have a tradition that whether it's my wife or my mom, whoever I'm going with, I get my big toes the same color as whatever they do. So like I have blue big toes right now.
I love this. So you will change it up based on what the girl picks, your mom or your wife.
Yeah.
So what if they got pink?
Oh, I've had pink toenails.
I love this.
Yeah, so just my big toes.
Yeah.
My big toes are my ugly toes.
Yeah.
So I like to cover up my ugly toes.
But that's kind of common in soccer though. Like soccer can be a very rough sport on your feet. So that's great.
It's funny though, because like I remember when I got my first one, and I was like fighting it at first. I don't know if your son fought it.
Yeah.
But then I did it, and then like I came home, and I was like, I think I was still in college at the time, or I was staying at home, maybe during one of the off seasons a long time ago. And I'm like walking around the house in the kitchen, and like there was a little like dirt or dust on the floor, and my feet are like, oh, this is like someone's got to sweep this up.
This is gross.
Like, this is gross. Like my feet are way too sensitive to be on a dirty floor right now.
I love that. So you've made that part of your life. Do you do any other, like, do you have any rituals that you do before you play, or anything that's kind of, I wouldn't say lucky charms, but like just something that you like to do before a game that makes you feel like ready to go, or some type of, I don't know, ritual or something that you always do?
I would say not necessarily always. I'm a firm believer that you want to have a process, but you don't want to like make your process so rigid that if something goes wrong, it's like, oh, well, I'm screwed now because I didn't have just egg whites for breakfast and I had to have.
I have the wrong socks or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. So like I want to have like rituals and like process, because that's one thing we speak a lot about is process, but I feel like the more detailed your process is when it comes, like if it's too rigid when it comes to like little daily things, like that's just not how life is. So like if you don't leave any wiggle room and like all of a sudden you're wearing the wrong socks or whatever, and it's like you're everything's thrown off.
Right.
I mean, I like to, like if it's a game day, I usually like either go out to breakfast or have breakfast at home. I like to make breakfast. And like if I have family in town, I usually make breakfast for everybody and everyone comes over.
That's nice. So that's your meal. What's your breakfast recipe?
Just some shredded hash browns, eggs, some bacon, some sausage, maybe some toast.
Love that.
Maybe some avocado.
Oh, throw some avocado in there. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Mix it up a little bit.
Other than that, I really, I don't have any like super strict other than like post lunch, I take a nap. It's like on a game day. Mm-hmm. If it's like unless it's like an early game, but for the most part, our games are like around 7, 8 o'clock. I'll take an hour to 90-minute nap around like 1:30.
And that helps with your energy.
Yeah.
Really? So you wake up feeling more refreshed after the nap? Because some people don't. Some people are struggle to do that, but I think it's all about the time and the person.
Well, the other thing is like realizing in like the sleep schedule for, I think this is a big thing for anyone who plays sports in the evening. You realize that you're getting your adrenaline up, energy levels up, and it takes a long time to wind down. Even like people say that about coming to the games, let alone playing in them. True. That like you come to a game and it's 8 o'clock kickoff during the summer. Well, you get home and it's like, all right, it's 10:30 by the time you get home. Well, you're still wound up from the game. Now you're like not able to go to sleep until like midnight, 1 o'clock. Well, that's what makes it hard for me to bring the kids during the school year, because it's like when you bring a 7-year-old and then you try to get them to bed at 10:30, which is already later than their bedtime is during the week, and they're so excited from the game. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, this is good. Tomorrow's going to be a mess. Yeah. Like, but so I totally get that. And I feel the same way too, because you're excited, especially when there's a big win or something like that. That's why like it's part of it's like the pre-planning where you're like, all right, well, I might be losing some sleep in the evening, but if I can gain some of that back beforehand, because I know like when I go play, I know it's going to be usually 1 or 2 o'clock before I lay down after a game. Yeah. Dang. So do you go anywhere or do anything after the game? Do you all ever go celebrate? Obviously, there has to be something that you guys... Yeah, I mean, sometimes we'll go out and grab some drinks or anything or something. Yeah. Sometimes just hang around the house. It depends on who's in town, what the game was. But I usually keep it pretty simple. Yeah, not a big like partier, but I am going to ask you some questions here. So I'm going to give you a 20-second lightning round, and I want you to answer these questions as fast as possible. Okay. Favorite pre-game snack? Favorite pre-game snack? I don't know if I have a favorite. Like a protein bar, maybe. There we go. Last song you played on your phone? Lately I've been playing a lot of Big X The Plug. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, and this is because my 7-year-old wants to know. Messi or Ronaldo? I like Messi. Okay, that's what she likes too, so that's interesting. Best soccer boots of all time? Mizuno, Morelia, Neo, Beta 4. That was very specific. I love that. Favorite Louisville restaurant? Favorite Louisville restaurant? I mean, I have a number of those. I feel like I have a list. Give us your top 3. My favorite 3. I love going to Repeal. Mm-hmm. I love Nami. I also I love going to Rock. Oh, Italian food. Yeah. So good. Yeah. They are really good. Okay, biggest pet peeve. My biggest pet peeve. I hate when people like butcher names, like whether it's like your name or like my own name. Like, I mean, that's just one of the first ones that came to my head. But like people say like Totsch, like Totsch.0, and it's like, all right, we're just like, it feels like you didn't ask. I'm sure like even for yourself, when people say names that it's like almost so blatantly wrong, you're like, if it seems like you're purposely trying to say it wrong. I have a whole group of people in this town that call me Ellen. Oh, really? It's not my name. I've tried to change it. Yeah. I'm like, it's Alane. And
it's just not sticking. And they're in my neighborhood, and it's just, here I am now. And my son was like, am I Ellen's son? Because somebody asked me that today. I was like, yeah, we're going with that.
Who's Ellen?
Who's Ellen?
So like, it's a weird one for me because like, it's hard to pronunciate it like perfect, but I'm not like a strickler on it, but it's like when it's so wrong, you're like, all right. Like,
yeah. You could have asked. We talked before. You could ask and see how it's actually pronounced.
Actually, I think now that I'm thinking about it, it popped in my head. It's kind of ironic. My biggest pet peeve is, so like my favorite hobby is golfing.
Okay.
And while my thing is on the soccer field that it's like tucked in, locked in. Like when I'm walking to the field, I'm tucking my shirt in. On the golf course, it's the opposite. I like to have my shirt untucked. So one of my biggest pet peeves is that like golf courses require you to have your shirt tucked in. And it's like, why?
Why? Because you don't want to have your shirt tucked in. Because I feel like when you swing it, it comes out.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, and that's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So do you shop at Untuck It?
Say it again?
Have you shopped at Untuck It?
No, I can't.
Out of
principle. Principle. I walked into one time, and I've just like started getting this feeling. I'm like, I can't do this.
It's out. Okay.
So it's funny though, because like
passionate about tuck or untuck.
Yeah.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I love that.
Soccer field, tuck it in. Golf course,
Untuck it.
untuck it.
There we go. Texting or calling.
I'm more of a caller.
Okay. I think that's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Because I am too.
Or voice messages. I like voice messages.
Do you send those by text?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. That's great. Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Go to emoji. Which is the first emoji on your phone that you send the most?
The lock emoji.
Really?
Yeah.
Tucked in, locked in.
Yeah.
Love it. Favorite holiday?
I love 4th of July.
That's a good one. That's a good one. One word that describes you.
Locked.
I like it.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
Not and tucked and sometimes untucked. Favorite Louisville City jersey color?
My favorite jersey, there was one that we had in 2020 actually when it was like black and silver, kind of like kind of wavy pattern through it.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Ice cream or cake?
Ice cream.
Morning practice or evening practice?
Morning.
Coffee order?
I like a mocha with oat milk and half sweet.
Love that. The teammate who always makes you laugh?
Always makes me laugh. Let's see. Zach Duncan.
Okay. Window seat or aisle seat?
Window.
Same. Last show you binged? But not too late. But what did you binge?
We just binged it. Bad Influencer.
Okay. I haven't heard of that one.
It's a newer Netflix one about influencer in South Africa who's selling counterfeit bags.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty interesting.
Your hype word before walking out onto the pitch?
I like to say beast if you're saying one word.
Yeah. I like it. Beast, tucked in, locked in. All gets this vibe of very, very strong.
You got to create the like mental image of what you're trying to like, it's a mental image, but it creates like a physical reaction when you can like have some things that you're like, all right, who am I trying to be out there? And then like create that within yourself.
Do you imagine games in your head before you play them?
Moments in games.
Okay. So you play them in your head. So like, let's say you're doing that pregame nap. When you're going to sleep, do you think about the game?
No, not like, I would not say like during the day, like leading up to the game. Cause it's just like, I feel like it's like a mental exhaustion if you're trying to like focus on the game the whole day. Like you kind of almost need to like know what you want going into it, but you're also not trying to cram the right before like that. If you're really trying, I feel like if you have to like go through your head the whole time leading up in the day, and maybe I'm wrong with this, maybe it's something that I could be better at, but I almost feel like it's like, you'd almost like a little bit of mental fatigue in the day. We're like leading up to it, like the week leading up, like envision yourself, try to put yourself in those positions, those moments. But then if it's the whole day, it's like you got to relax leading up so that you can physically perform on the actual day. That
makes sense. Like relaxing and letting it that you're ready. Yeah. You don't have to freak out now. It's time to just get ready to perform. Okay, we're gonna pivot a little bit because we talked about this before, but I am a big lover of conspiracy theories.
Okay.
So I want to hear, like, what is the conspiracy theory that you believe is true?
I mean, I don't believe the Egyptians built the pyramids. You know, we're talking about like some pyramid stuff. Like, come on.
Let's be real.
Come on.
They definitely did not build the pyramids. There's no, how could that have happened?
Yeah.
They found them. I believe that they stumbled on them. And they said, this would be a cool place to hang out.
Yeah.
We should do some shit here.
Let's set up shop here.
Yeah, let's take this over. But I don't really think that it was like a, let's haul these giant boulders across the ground and like whip the slaves. I don't know if that happened. I don't see that happening.
I don't either.
So have you ever been anywhere outside of the United States? Do you travel a lot?
I try to travel every off season to new country, but yeah, I've been through like Scandinavia, a couple of European countries.
What's your favorite one?
My wife and I have done a couple trips to Mexico.
Yeah.
I love Mexico.
It's beautiful.
We did a trip recently to Mexico City. Such a cool city, like so much to do. We went like hot air balloons over the Mexican pyramids.
Yes, I have heard that there's some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, so we like hot air balloons over the pyramids. Went to like volcanic hot springs.
That's cool.
What else did we do there?
Are you an adventure seeker?
Yeah, I'm an adventure seeker, but not like I'm not like bungee jumping, but I like the adventure. We like finding a new place. You know, and when it comes to like, you know, it's, with the profession, you can only really travel during the off season. So usually try to find warmer places. But we love like finding a little neighborhood to find an Airbnb or whatever, like small little place to stay, and then explore outside of any resorts or anything. So that's a big thing that my wife and I value is exploring like what it's like actually being in a city and like almost giving you a little glimpse of what it's like in a daily life. So we went to like the little markets in Mexico City, like pastry shops, and, you know, not stay in some cushy resort.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with people that do that.
Yeah.
But that's just not how we choose to
Do you
travel.
feel safe in Mexico? Because I know that there's a lot of talk online and a lot of talk about how dangerous Mexico could be. And I know that that's been some verbiage, you know, over the last few years of the danger of traveling there. Have you always, it seems like you feel safe there.
Oh, I felt safe the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, we went there and we found like a small little town. We went to Puerto Vallarta previous year and stayed a couple nights in Sayulita, which was like a beautiful little surf town. Learned how to do some surfing there.
Cool.
So yeah, I love it and can't wait to go back the next time.
So you have the saying, you mentioned it, tucked in, locked in. Is that something that, when did you come in? When did that really stick with you? Like, when did that start?
So it was actually 2018 during preseason. So like my whole first season at Louisville City, like, I mean, people probably don't realize it now, like, because it's such a long time ago, but I didn't have my shirt tucked in like a single game in 2017, our first year. And it was our preseason game. And I was like, before the game, you know, like you just scroll through like on a game day, at times you're like, all right, well, I can't do anything. I read a little bit. I'm like scrolling through my phone, old pictures will pop up. And I saw this old picture of myself with like my shirt tucked in and like a old school collar jersey. And I was like, that's a cool look. Like, I like that. So I'm like, I'm going to wear that today. I'm going to like tuck my shirt in. And I had a good game. And then after the game, some of like the fans and some other people were like, hey, like Totsch had his shirt tucked in. Like he looked like he played really good.
They noticed.
He looked like he played really good. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna keep doing it. And I've just been doing it ever since.
Tucked in, locked in.
Yeah. And now it's like, I just had like, I was trying to figure out how to phrase it. And then a buddy messaged me. He was like, oh, you should do it like this. And I'm like, perfect. I love it. But then now it's like become a thing where it's like, if I'm in around the facility, like, oh, I gotta have my shirt.
Yeah, put it in immediately.
Yeah.
You can't come straight from golf
like there
unless
was like,
you're tucking in right away.
Exactly.
Has to be
There was
immediately.
one day I remember it was like 2019 or 20, and it'd been enough time where like it had been my thing that I was like pissed off and like going into training. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna train with my shirt untucked, and that'll show them. And I'm like, I started doing it, and I'm like, No one even realizes it. And this side just feels stupid now. Like, I'm just gonna tuck my shirt back in.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
What was that?
I was just me being dumb.
Well, I don't know if it's dumb, but you know what I've noticed recently is like you get burnout in regular careers, right? Like it is I have a theory that like if you are an hourly employee, like at year 2, you get frustrated, right? And if you're a salary person, it's usually somewhere between 3 and 5 where you get frustrated with like the recognition needs to be there for the hard work that you put in. Now, you have been with Louisville City for a number of years. So do you ever feel like, just like any other job, there's days of frustration, not only with yourself, but just with the league or with the team or what's going on, where it's like, you know, I'm not getting what I deserve or I'm not doing as well, like where you're just burnt out?
I mean, there's definitely days where it's like it's tiring. You know, there's like you know, a lot of frustration because like there's pressure that's put on you, you know, and while that's you know, creates some incredible moments when you overcome that, it also with it you have to realize that there is going to be those low moments. And so that's one thing that especially as I've grown as a professional, realizing to manage those highs and lows and not letting myself like be like crushed in defeat, but also not like running and doing circles like my nephew probably would when he beat me in Guess Who.
Yeah.
You know, like rubbing in people's faces.
Yeah.
And just trying to keep it a little more steady. I feel like that's one thing that's helped me kind of maintain my consistency is just trying to not let the highs be too high and the lows be too low and just try to enjoy everything you can and appreciate everything that you've been given. It
can't be good every day or else you won't feel the good anymore.
No. Well, it's tough. Like a lot of people don't realize what goes into being a professional soccer player at our level. You know, we travel basically every other weekend for 10 months.
Yeah.
And flying commercial both coasts.
Yeah.
So you're like, there's sometimes you're like, all right, you just played on a Saturday. You have a Wednesday game. We had this one of these. I don't think we had this year, but last year we had one where we did like New Mexico, DC, California in 1 week. And
that's exhausting.
That's exhausting just traveling, let alone trying to play.
Yeah.
And then you know, one of the things too is like just in the nature of the sport, you're going to have bumps and bruises and things that are sore. So you throw on that travel on top of it, and it's like, oh, well, you get to go to some really cool cities. Yes, we do, but like you were there to work, so like, you know, I'm not going out and sightseeing the day of a game. Like I'm in a hotel room, laying down in the hotel room, whether we're in San Diego or, you know, Des Moines, Iowa.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I think that what's interesting is you talked about maturity and you talked about as you matured. So let's say that you're talking to young boys right now. And I really think that this is something that's very difficult because in the United States, particularly, what I've noticed is there's extreme pressure on children. Like I kind of led with this earlier, to be professional athletes, you know, like, and every kid can't be that, but every kid technically could. You have the ability inside of yourself to do anything. So what advice would you give a kid who's in the 8th grade or in high school right now that's playing soccer? What advice, if you could talk back even to yourself at that time, what advice would you give yourself that would make, you know, this entire process easier for you?
You know, I don't know if you want it to be easier, right? Like that's part of it is like, and I feel like that's, you know, could be one of the problems for people is they want it to be easy and they think that it being easy is going to create success. You know, like creating a path of least resistance is like, you know, if there's never wind against a tree, it's not growing stronger roots. You know, like you need to develop that ability to overcome and be told no. And like for myself, you know, I was never someone at like the youth level that was like nationally recognized or like this guy's going to be a professional. You know, I was solid, but I was not like, all right, this is it. He's the next guy. Like,
yeah, that outstanding one. You weren't the one the light was always shining on.
Exactly. You know, maybe in like high school soccer, but that's a different story. Like just playing regular public high school in Illinois versus like, people who are getting like youth national team call-ups, or like the biggest academies are seeking them out. Like when I was 17, I came home. I was at boarding school my freshman and sophomore year at a soccer academy. I came back, and the academy in Chicago, the Chicago Fire, rejected me for 2 years. I wasn't on the top level team at the time. Mm-hmm. And that was just fuel to the fire for me. And I feel like for me is like realizing what motivates you and then really tapping into that. And for me, one of the things that's motivated me is when people tell me no, or when people tell me I'm not good enough. So it's like, oh, you think I'm not good enough? Mm-hmm. All right.
Tell me I can't.
Yeah, tell me I can't. And that's what I want. Like, like I'm standing over, if I'm, golf, I'm putting the ball, and they're like, oh, you're so good. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, tell me I can't,
That's great. But that's really good advice too, because that's what the kids need to hear. Like, every struggle that you're having right now is supposed to be there. Yeah. You need to be able to deal with these, or you're never going to make it any further. So I think that is a way to make it easier, because you're not alone in those struggles. I think sometimes when you're a kid, it can be isolating. You feel like I'm the only one, or whatever. It's the stories that you tell yourself, right? Yeah. So I feel like
one thing as like a kid is like, all right, trying to find a way to like make your success not because of anything more than hard work. It's like, all right, if we can tie the hard work, or like the success, to the hard work, as opposed to like natural ability or like something given that's not you, that you developed, as well, is like a huge thing. Like, for me, I remember in high school, we were like, everyone's trying to do soccer tricks and stuff. And there's this move where like you can balance the ball on your head. So you like balance the ball on your forehead, and to see how long you could do it. And like, we saw videos of people doing it, and then like all of my roommates and my buddies were like way better than me. And I'm like, and they would like say some stuff or like joking around or whatever. But then I'm like, I didn't like do anything around them with it for like 2-3 weeks. And I was just like hours in my room, just balancing a soccer ball in my head. Had no translation of my ability with a soccer ball.
Right.
Like, but literally like 3 weeks later, I come back and I'm balancing the ball in my head for like 5 minutes, and they're like, damn, well, this is no fun anymore. You're better than all of us. And it's like, that's where my success came from doing that. It's
but you did it quietly.
Yeah.
Oh, you think there's something there with not talking about it? Like going and not saying I'm going to work on this, or I'm working on this, and like showing it. I think
the reason why you're doing it.
Yes.
The reason why you're doing it is not to show people that you're doing it. Is to like, because that's the other thing, is that you get into a realm of like, all right, like I'm going to run really hard back to make to make this tackle, but then look around and say like, oh, did my dad or my mom see that, or did my coach see that? Or it's like, you want to be able to do that whether they're looking at you or not. That's where it comes from. And like, I think it is a misconception with some people that they think like, even for someone like myself who's had like success, mm-hmm. it's not always like this. And even throughout the season, we had a really good regular season this year, but like, even there's moments where I'm like, all right, I really got to be better. Like, like there's low moments even through the season. Mm-hmm. And, we kind of talk about like what motivates you, what drives you. Like I was talking to someone, they're like, well, what's one thing a coach said to you that's always stuck with you? And it wasn't anything good. It was like the one thing that has stuck with me and motivated me. And if I ever need to find like a little bit of internal motivation, I think of this moment. There was a coach who came and saw me play before I signed my first ever professional contract. He came and watched me train. I was training with this like group of amateurs all trying to get signed. And they told her, oh, okay, watch this guy. Like he's got some stuff that we think will work with the team. He came and watched me play, and he told me, he's like, you're not big enough or strong enough to be a defender, and you're not technical enough or have the vision to be a midfielder at this level. And so like 4 weeks later, I ended up going to a tryout, signing with a different team other than his, and winning the whole league that year and starting in the final as a center mid. So like,
did you send him anything? I would have sent him something.
But like, if
I'm
anything,
so petty though. I would have sent. I would. Yeah. Okay.
but like for me, it was never like
But that was energy.
that was energy. That was what I needed.
Yeah.
You know, and like there's a couple moments throughout my career where there's something like that where like someone's like the disbelief in you that it's like, all right, bet like I'm gonna show you.
I had a guy do that to me once with getting FDA clearance, and the day that we got FDA clearance, I sent him an edible arrangement.
I was about to say, what are you going to send him?
I sent him an edible arrangement to his home.
A flaming
No, not
bag
me. It
of
was
dog
nice.
poop?
It was nice. I would always send
Like
something.
appreciation.
I'm not insane.
Yeah.
I'm petty though. And so like I sent him a card, you
Yeah.
know, like that was with it. And it was like, you know, I'm not going to say what the card said, but it was a situation where like, you know, eat this, like enjoy
Yeah.
this because I did it, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, I think that that to me was extremely motivating. Like, good luck, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You're never going to get that done. That's not as easy as you think it is. And it wasn't. But I don't know if I would have been so dogged if he wouldn't have told me. I couldn't have done it. So I get what you're saying. Like that guy saying that to you, like he basically said, you're not good at either role.
Yeah.
That is, and you were, but you needed that, like, that energy. And that's
Yeah.
amazing how you took that negative comment and turned it into positive energy because a lot of people don't have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
They really, really don't. So that's amazing. And what I want to do now is I'm going to wrap up, but we're going to play
Okay.
a round of this or that.
Okay.
So we have to be faster this time.
Okay.
Because the 20s, we got off
Yeah.
course. All right. So I'm going to ask you these and I want to see just as quickly as you can. Do you like this or that? So first one, defense or attack?
I like scoring goals.
Attack. Header goal or long range strike?
Long range strike.
Yep. Home crowd roar or away crowd silence?
I like the home crowd roar.
Turf or grass?
Grass.
Okay. Spring training or winter grind?
Spring training.
Adidas or Nike?
Mizuno.
Hey, not even one of those. Chip shot or power shot?
I like a power shot.
Pasta night or taco night?
Ooh, taco.
Sneakers or slides?
Sneakers.
Celebrate big or act like you've been there before?
I like I've been there before.
Short shorts or long shorts?
I would short shorts previously. I think more recently, I'm a long shorts guy.
Switching it up. Spotify or Apple Music?
Apple Music.
Same. I love Apple Music. And my daughter likes Spotify and I don't get it. Okay. Sorry. Road trip games or podcast?
Oh, podcast.
Okay. Be the fastest on the team or the strongest?
Luckily, I'm both.
Hey, locker room jokes or deep conversations?
You can't pick. Those are two unique things beautiful parts about being a part of a team.
I love it. Pizza, thin crust or deep dish?
Thin crust.
Same. I like a cracker crust. Morning lift or afternoon recovery?
Morning. I'm a morning guy.
Score first or score last?
Myself or the team?
Yourself.
I like to score first.
Being remembered for leadership or records?
I don't know. I mean, that's another tough one. I feel like they're completely different. Probably leadership.
Yeah, because that passes down to everybody. So with that, tell us before we close out here, what is it that you do want to be remembered for? Like with your legacy in Louisville, what really do you want to leave on the city and on the team?
I just think that I gave everything I had. I was dedicated to my craft and what it meant, and really embraced being a part of the city and making it my home and battling for it, and doing everything I possibly could to make the city a better place and the team a better team to play for.
And I think you've done that. I really do. That's amazing. Okay, so next time you come on, I really want to deep dive in to the pyramids.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that we could unpack that a little bit more.
They're an ancient power plant. We all know it.
They are an ancient power plant. It has a lot to do with PMF. We could go down that rabbit hole, but we'll do that next time. But I appreciate you for coming on today, Sean. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks.